is up? Welcome back to our channel. So, and once again, we're back with another video, and today we'll be reviewing a movie that I guess is a bit of a palate cleanser from previous Marvel movies, specifically Thor: Love and Thunder, which was just, went back to kind of too much of a jokier part of the Marvel universe into now, which is a more serious. Well, it still has that Marvel fun moments, but this movie is a whole lot serious and it deals with a whole lot more serious topics. And of course, it's none other than Wakanda Forever, baby! So yeah, we'll be talking about Black Panther Wakanda Forever. For those who aren't aware, the original Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, has passed away 2 years ago, even before the announcement of, well, he was sick during the announcement of Wakanda Forever, and sadly, he didn't make the shooting and he passed away. And I think this movie did a great job of trying to be respectful to how he passed. You know, a lot of movies nowadays try to do CGI or, cast someone similar looking and then kill him off in the movie. And I think the way they handled it here is a lot more respectful. They didn't show him at all. They just did a really smart scene at the beginning, kind of just being a hectic way of saying how he died. And now that, of course, he passed away, we have a new Black Panther taking on the mantle. And I guess a lot of fans are relieved that it is actually someone who we know who is a Black Panther in the comics. And of course, that's none other than Shuri. Of course, I don't think that's a spoiler at this point. She is in every poster and marketing material, and of course she is up against Namor the Submariner. And it's been a long time coming. A lot of fans have waited for this a long time. He is the first mutant, and I am happy to say that someone finally said the M word in the MCU, and hopefully that is a sign that more mutants are to come in the future. But okay, let's go back to the movie. The premise of Black Panther Wakanda Forever is, of course, we have Shuri struggling, trying to take on the mantle, or running away from the mantle of Black Panther, only to take it up again at the pivotal point of the movie. Of course, we have new characters, specifically, actually just a few, which is, of course, Namor, the Atlanteans. They have another term for Atlantis here, but I'm just gonna say Atlantis as to not mess it up. Comic book fans, I hope you agree with me. It's Atlantis, so let's just call it Atlantis, the Atlanteans. We have Riri Williams appearing. For those who don't know, Riri Williams, or Ironheart, is, well, a college student who is like super smart, and she builds her own Stark suit, Iron Man suit. And yeah, that is actually kind of what got her involved in this whole mess, is that she is so smart. She actually built something to locate vibranium, and of course the Atlanteans didn't like that, so they're on the hunt to kill the Riri Williams. And of course we have the Wakandans, who are like peace-loving people, and they want to protect Riri. And that's kind of one of the plots in the movie. Another one is, of course, the whole sharing vibranium with the world. Of course, we find out that Atlantis also has vibranium reserves, which gives them all their abilities as well, although they are not as advanced as Wakanda. So the acting in this movie was great. I love, of course, all the original cast from the original Black Panther movie. are back. All of them did a great job in that movie, and they just did it again. They amped up the acting prowess, especially with Shuri. I love her character arc in this story. Of course, Okoye has her own arc, the Queen. I think one of the lesser characters in this movie is actually Riri Williams. There were a lot of scenes where like she was just, wow, what's happening? And she was just a bit too annoying at least in the early parts, and then she kind of toned it down in the latter parts of the movie. Of course, we have to take note of Namor the Submariner, who is also a great character in this movie. He did a great job. Although, you know, there are sometimes when he's speaking like his Mayan Atlantean language, he's very cool, kind of very intimidating. Sometimes when he is speaking English, you kind of lose that power. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about him. They actually made him pretty cool. I love the action sequences when he's flying about. That was pretty cool. And who would have thought? At first, the first time you see him on screen, it's kind of funny. Yeah, it's hard to take someone with wings on their feet seriously. So I guess that's kind of one thing they had to work around. How do they make this dude very intimidating? I think they did a good job later on when you see what he can do, but you know, when he comes out, you're like, what is this dude with feet wings doing? And it's a bit funny. Of course, that is how he is in the comics, and I think overall they did a great job with Namor. And I think this is actually a better version of him. You know, his comic portrayals are a bit, he looks wacky, although he is, you know, this very intimidating anti-hero, as you would say, because, you know, he's not exactly a hero, but he's not actually a villain. And they do a great job of covering all the bases with the character. You kind of see why he's trying to protect his own kingdom from foreigners, and he wants Wakanda to help, and he goes all killmonger and try to, you know, kill them before they come for us. So yes, that's kind of, you know, a bit formulaic, but for Black Panther. But yeah, they did a great job with Namor, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. Hopefully he just sticks to the Atlantean language in our next encounters with him. We actually plant the seeds for one interesting comic book plot with Namor, where he is kind of challenged for the throne with one of his quote-unquote generals. So we won't go into details, but yeah, there was one scene where he was like, why would you do this? You know, he was questioned, although it wasn't fully explored yet. Hopefully in the next films we do get to see that. Going through the other characters, we have M'Baku, who is surprisingly really good. Yeah, I would actually not mind him being the king of Wakanda now. I don't know how they would go about doing that, because there is a scene at the end where he, well, I won't go through spoilers, but you know, it's kind of left hanging who is the king of Wakanda at the moment. So yeah, we also have Agent Coulson. Very cool, very fun to see the character again. Although he doesn't have much scenes, we do see also Lady Hydra. She is head of the CIA, I think, or SHIELD at this point. I don't know. She's head of something. Yeah, it's fun to see how the MCU is slowly moving her plot line ahead. Hopefully we just get there, you know? The Dark Avengers, I believe, is coming soon. I don't know how long in the timeline. It hasn't really been announced yet. But yeah, with Lady Hydra looming around in the background, hopefully it's not that far off, or you know, you expect to see more of her in the MCU. So the cast aside, the cinematics in this movie is just amazing. I love how they developed the city of Wakanda. They portrayed a lot of the culture, and also with Atlantis, They do have a lot of scenes just portraying the citizens doing normal things, and it makes you feel that this is a live culture, and it's kind of fun to see that aspect because, you know, you'd want to go there now. Like, I would want to go to Atlantis or Wakanda because they seem to have fun traditions, and you know, the burial tradition for T'Challa. They also look like they have really good food. They show a lot of they show one scene where the Wakandans are like cooking chicken barbecue or something like that, and I remember, wow, that looks very tasty. And of course, again, they do explore the traditions of Atlantis with that, and they make the citizens more human. So you're probably expecting a grand clash between the two civilizations of Wakanda and Atlantis, and yeah, it just makes scenes like that feel like they're not just throwaway characters. These are actual people with actual dreams and desires, and it actually makes the conclusion have a little bit sense, although I have questions about it. Yeah, we won't go through all the spoilers. The world building is great. The costume design, someone should give the costume designer for Wakanda Forever a raise, because Shuri's drip, Shuri's fits were just fire. You know, I would go from scene to scene saying like, damn, that would be really cool. You know, if there was a male version of that outfit, that would be really cool. And I think it does and have an equivalent in the real world. Well, they do have, like, Mela mentioned she saw like fashion brands. We're not gonna go too deep into that, but yeah, she has a really cool tracksuit. Her futuristic Wakandan clothing were good. Actually, all the costumes were good, although, you know, the Night Angel costumes kind of were too comic-y for my taste, and although we do love that, sometimes it just doesn't feel right. It feels like a Mask Rider costume, you know, Kamen Rider costume, more than an MCU, you know, battle suit armor type thing. So yeah, that's one of my nitpicks. I didn't like the costume design for the Night Angel armor, and I hope they do a better job fixing it. When Okoye says it looks terrible, yeah, I guess that makes it make sense, because yeah, she hates the armor. She thinks it's terrible, although it gives her super capabilities. So another thing I have to take note in Wakanda Forever is the soundtrack. The music is actually also really good. I also remember specifically going from one scene to the other thinking, wow, that song is dropping it like it's hot. It's really cool. It has a really cool soundtrack. Does have a lot of the traditional African vibes, especially in the end credit songs with Rihanna, with the chants, and that was really, really cool. I like that. They really went all out in exploring African culture, although, you know, sci-fi version of African culture. Although, yeah, it was really fun to see. We don't really get that sort of representation in movies these days, and I think Black Panther did a great job in exploring all that inside this really awesome, really cool movie. So one thing, I do love the Killmonger cameo here. We won't go through why he's there, but yeah, he does make a cameo. But I really don't think that Namor is just Killmonger. Well, he is kind of, but you know, Killmonger is still, I think, one of the top villains of the MCU, because, you know, he just sort of copied it, and although he is cool in his own way, so I would just put him in a tier below. If Killmonger is, let's say, S tier, when it comes to MCU villains, of course, don't hate on me. When it comes to MCU villains, I guess we can all agree that Killmonger is S tier, and I would put Namor in an A or B tier. We have to explore him a bit more. Maybe I'll put him in a better spot later on, but yeah, so far he is more of an A, B tier type character. Let's talk about, again, the cinematography. Everything was beautiful. I love the underwater shots. Those are, you know, guys, if you don't know, those are probably the most difficult shots to shoot, because you know you require a whole team just to, you know, maneuver the camera around underwater. It's amazing for me to think how they did that. Of course, one thing I would like to say is night scenes. Did they get the night crew from, you know, the last season of Game of Thrones or something? I couldn't see anything in the first few scenes of the movie because it was all night scene. It was dark. You get to see some scenes inside a boat which has light, but then everything outside was just, you know, black. You can barely see anything. I don't know if it's the theater projector or something, but yeah, it was dark and you can barely see anything, and I hate that. And it's in a lot of other movies like Venom or yeah. So guys, come on, just, you know, you can have a bit of light in night scenes, you know, have moon as lighting, you know, you don't have to go pitch black. I want to enjoy the night scenes and want to see how awesome everyone is fighting in the shadows, you know. So yeah, that's one nitpick I have, but again, the rest of the movie was beautiful, a lot of beautiful settings. The environment was greatly designed. A lot of the futuristic stuff from Wakanda is just so fun to look at. So, you know, props to the designers who thought of all the gadgets and all the cool stuff, and all the costumes were just so colorful, vibrant. And I love the motor suit for, I forgot her name, but T'Challa's fiance. I love her, you know, she had this like biker suit all Wakandanized, which is really cool. And it turns into an underwater suit, and also that's pretty cool. And again, a lot of the drip for this movie was just on point. And even the queen was like super fire. This is a movie. I love all their costumes, and it was again super cool and just fun to watch. So overall, I think Black Panther Wakanda Forever is sitting at a good 7.5 to 8 out of 10, and yeah, I think that's a great score for it. It is definitely, I think, a must watch, because, you know, I'd watch it over Love and Thunder any day. Yeah, I really want to see it again. Maybe the night scenes were because of the cinema, although we did watch it in VIP. Yeah, maybe some projectors may be old or something like that. So we'll have to see, and we'll just have to see if it is really dark, because sometimes it is with the settings of the theater. Hopefully not, because that would just, you know, make the whole theater experience sad. If it's better to watch at home, I don't know, but we'll have to see. We'll probably try to see it in a fancier theater, which was, you know, ways away from our house, so that's why we opted to go to the nearer theater. So yeah, have you guys seen Wakanda Forever? What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, it's me, your bearded bro QuickSilver 15, signing off. Peace.